What's happening, guys? Welcome back to the show. Successfully Unsigned, professional music advice from unprofessionals. Once again, sorry for the delay, but we have a great episode for you. Today, we talk about lyrics and song structure. Just some things we've noticed in different songs that we like or songs of ours, like length of song. How does that affect whether you listen to it or not? Transitions, bridges in songs, like what takes you out of a song when you listen to it, what causes you to not want to listen to it anymore. Just some observations there, and I think that you will definitely get a lot from it and maybe learn some things about your own song structure if you are an up-and-coming artist working on a project right now. But as always, please go subscribe to the channel, follow us on everything. Go to our website, su-podcast.com. That'll take you to all of our social media accounts. We have Instagram, we have TikTok. But please rate the show. It helps us out a lot. Give us 5 stars. Give us a review. Tell us what you're thinking. Email us, production@su-podcast.com. If you ever want to be on the show or know somebody that should be on the show, we would love to make a connection. So without further ado, please enjoy this week's episode on lyrics and song structure.
Did a mouse eat through your pants?
You know, I really don't know what happened to these pants. I assume the washing machine tore them up. But they were like, it was like the second time I wore them when I looked down and I saw that. So
I'm just proud of you for wearing jeans, bro.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You know what it was? It was the universe telling you stop buying bootcut jeans. And that goes for everyone in our audience.
I'm wearing boots though.
So is boot cut just mean literally that they fit your boots? Like they can
Yeah,
go
they're
they
wider at the
flare
bottom.
out a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
And actually, a boot cut does. I don't know. It's like you got your bell bottoms and you got your boot cut. Technically, I do
Bell
have some boot cut jeans, or not jeans, pants, but they're more like they're like a 70s style. They're from the 70s.
Nice.
So,
Well, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to tuck them inside the top of the boot?
yeah.
I've actually been thinking about buying some boots, like some actual boots.
Me too.
Like I don't know, they look so like durable and comfortable.
Yeah.
Like,
Boot
I
your house
don't
down.
know that I am going to trust the boots that I see at least advertised here in Nashville though.
why?
They're so touristy.
What does that mean?
And
Like they're cheaply made. They're made for like look, style, and like Broadway. I mean, when you drive down the interstate and you see a buy one get 3 free pair of boots.
Buy one get 3?
I know there's a
Yeah.
sign that's at least 2, but I'm pretty sure when I first
it's
moved
buy
here,
one get one 3. I think.
yeah, like I'm not gonna believe that you can buy 1 pair of boots and get 3 pair on top that are
pair.
actually good.
Gotcha.
One of my favorite tweets recently is Boots the house, and then someone goes Dora when her and Boots get evicted.
Oh my goodness. That's Patty G's humor today.
Yep.
I don't think it's past the age of 8.
Past the age of 8.
Yeah, your humor. I don't think it's mature past the age of 8. Maybe 10 on a good day.
I would say closer like 16.
16?
I mean, but there are some things that
Like
can break
Gen Z,
through.
like current day 16, not like when we were 16.
No.
Okay.
That's different.
Yeah,
It
no.
is different.
I feel like some things break through though. Like fart jokes are always funny to me.
Yeah.
I don't know why. They just are. That's with anybody. That's with adults. That's with it could be a senior citizen. They'd laugh. You know?
Yeah.
It happens.
They let plenty out.
Oh yeah. Some are quiet. But anyways, what's our topic for today?
What's our show?
What is this show?
We are successfully unsigned.
Good job, Dale.
Music advice.
Oh boy.
Professional
Professional music advice
Hey.
from unprofessionals. There
There
we
you go.
There we go. As y'all well know, Memory and me are not friends. Tonight's episode, we are talking about lyrical styles. By that, I mean how different songs approach lyrics in different perspectives, be it the storytelling era of like, you think of like Gordon Lightfoot and like the Wreck of the Eamon Fitzgerald. That's like the first song that comes to me, to my mind about that. Or you go back and you think of like the old school bards and like, tavern performers of like the Middle Ages and whatever. Like they told stories, they told big grand tales, right? Very storytelling-esque. Or you fast forward and you get things that are conversations, and you get things that are personal, or you get things that are just completely whimsical and don't really seem to have much of a kernel of thought. It's very like a very stream of conscious kind of idea. We're going to talk about lyrical styles tonight and how you as an artist can tap into different things to make your songs better, to get out of a rut, to just kind of understand what your style is. Different genres, lean toward different things easier, and different insights onto, again, lyrical approaches to songs.
Nice.
So,
I don't really want to talk about that. Can we talk about like something else not to do with music?
like what? What do you want to talk about, Patrick?
Bootcut.
Bootcut jeans. Well, let's have a podcast about bootcut jeans.
Yeah, we'll reserve that. We should have a hat of like random things we have to pull out and talk about randomly.
All of them is gonna be like Spice Girls, Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna rig the system.
I'll throw one in there. It's like
that I want.
I'll just throw one in there just as freshly mowed grass, and we have to talk about mowed grass for
I'll do it.
an hour.
I'll do it. As we're talking about this, though, if you have any suggestions or thoughts that you want to see on the show, anything,
Please.
any topics that you want to hear discussed and looked into, let us know. We are happy to look into topics that you want to hear about.
Perfect. But before we get into that, show and yell.
Show and yell.
What'd you say? What stat did you tell me when I walked in? We're 2 years from what?
Oh yeah, 2 days from now, which today when we are recording, it's August 26th. So in 2 days, August 28th, we will be celebrating 2 years of our podcast.
Yeah.
Like, so exciting. So we just want to say thank you guys so much for all of your support. We've had a lot of like ups and downs to this podcast, but a lot of like really great connections and just talking to people and successes. We still have a lot to go, but we're like excited for the future. And they say if you make it past 10 episodes in a podcast, then you've done really well.
Yeah.
And we've made it very well past that. Had many guests on, and
we've grown. We've grown.
grown
This is awesome. It's because of all of you, and thank you for your support. And if you want to continue to support, tell your friends to subscribe to the channel. Go to our website, su-podcast.com. Go to our Instagram. Subscribe to our Instagram, Successfully Unsigned. And what am I missing? TikTok.
Unsigned Podcast.
Unsigned Podcast.
Yep.
All right. So, show and yell.
Who's going first?
I'll go first. All right. So my show and yell is a board game called Speak Out. Yeah. Have you guys ever played this game?
I don't know that
I
one.
think so. Or I've played something similar, maybe.
So Speak Out. Here, I'll let you see.
Yes.
You put this obnoxious mouth guard in your mouth, and you say phrases. The first time I played this game was with my parents. Don't think I've ever laughed that hard in my life, because my dad, when he smiles, he doesn't show his teeth ever. I've never seen my dad's teeth ever, literally ever. And when he put this thing on, you could see all the teeth. And then him just saying these words, being a very Southern gentleman, was really fun. But I recommend it. It's a nice little party game. Definitely wash the mouthpieces because yeah, that's the one drawback. It's like you play it the first time and it's like, oh, I gotta wash these. Like that's the one thing.
Yeah,
that's kind of annoying about it.
I think like back in like 2015, like those were getting really popular. So I think it's called Mouth Guard Challenge, and I played it with my cousins, and I still have videos like from us. Ours, except it wasn't just speaking. Like some of it was speaking, but some of it was challenges. So it was like eat a slice of an apple or something. Oh. And there's a video of my cousin Ellie eating an apple, and it is so funny. She's like drooling. It's so bad.
It's so great. The ones the ones on TikTok where they like hold water in, and then the filter like changes their face to something is hilarious.
Oh yeah.
And they can see it, and they have to not laugh or whatever.
Yeah, but I do agree. I don't know if I've played since then, so I guess we should whip it out for this podcast.
We should. If we played for an episode, we could do a segment with these mouth guards in. Just do a little segment.
Maybe we could like read song lyrics. Guess the song lyrics.
That would be awesome. Yep. If you guys want to see that, comment down below.
You know what this reminds me of, and it's completely different than everything y'all have talked about with this so far.
Okay.
But there was when I was a kid, I was watching like TCM. Does anyone know that channel? Turner Classic Movies.
No, sir.
Nope.
Somebody in my family had turned it on, and it's like old movies. It's like black and white movies kind of stuff.
Nice.
Right? And there's a movie that came on. It was a horror film called The Ghoul, although it also went by another name called Mr. Sardonicus. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I know-
I've heard of that.
Yeah, I know that. I think I've talked with you about it before, Patrick.
No, I've heard of it. I heard of it
have
in
you?
like high school.
It's a really, at least what I remember of it, which was a long time ago, really good film. The premise was like this guy got a lot. It was given like a lottery ticket, but then he's like, no, I don't want to do the lottery, whatever, like I don't want your free money because it's from like his father-in-law. And then his father-in-law died and was buried with the ticket, and then the ticket won like, well, what would probably be millions now. Then it was probably like $2,000.
Right.
But anyway, but like so he goes and he digs up the grave and gets the ticket, and when he does that, the moonlight shines and his face gets frozen like really giant, like super, super big. And it's a super creepy smile. And it was all done with practical effects. And so the story goes, his face got stuck like that. And so he has to eat the entire rest of his life in this beautiful mansion because he has all this money, but he has to eat through a straw, and he becomes a really bitter, just mean guy. And he's going from doctor to doctor trying to fix all this, and nobody can fix it. And but he's like super stinking rich. And anyway, it was all done with practical effects. It was 100% practical effects. And it was actually to a point where like they could only shoot for like half an hour at a time because they'd have to give his mouth relief from those the contraption they used to hold it up like that. Otherwise, he actually would get stuck like that in real life.
Wow.
And I just remember it being like a really like psychological, I say horror film. It wasn't really horror. It was more like a dark kind of drama, horror-esque, thriller-esque feeling. Just a really dark movie. And the end of it, they go into a room and they heal him using like placebo stuff. And at that point in time, the movie almost ends, and the director comes out and stands in front of the audience and is like, all right, do y'all want him to live or do y'all want him to die? Like, that's the question he poses the audience. And it's like early on in like the fourth wall breaking stuff for movies anyway. And so he starts talking like, okay, kid in the back, sit down, it is. Okay, who, and asking the audience in the theater whether they want him to live or die. And apparently every single theater everywhere all said kill him. Like everybody's like, kill him, let him die. Because instead his mouth gets stuck closed rather than being stuck open, it's stuck closed. And so he can no longer even eat through a straw. And rumor has it that there is a good ending, but nobody's ever seen it. Don't
Lost Media. I love Lost Media.
Oh, it's great.
Cool.
Other people claim that there just never was one at all anyway, because they just knew everybody hates this guy.
Yeah.
I think, people hated ugly people a lot more back then, and ugly people are a lot more accepted now. But Amanda Bynes once tweeted out, I hate ugly people, or something along those lines, and I stand by her.
Does she mean like actually ugly people or just like mean people?
No, she meant actually ugly people.
Oh, okay.
Like unattractive.
Nice. Hey,
Just kidding. I am kidding, but shout out to Amanda Bynes. Hope she's doing okay.
Yeah, me too, honestly.
Crazy.
Okay, what's your item, Dale?
My item is, if I can grab it, a pair of drum brushes. These particular brushes are not, special to me. However, what they represent is my first instrument that I ever played was drums. And I no longer have a pair of drumsticks because the last pair I had recently broke, so I don't have any anymore. But I had these.
I'm curious. Sorry, what drum did they put you on?
I was concert snare for years. What?
No, I don't know.
What?
There's a hierarchy of drums.
There is.
That's pretty good though. It's pretty prestigious.
Yeah, I was a concert snare for years. I wanted to do marching band, but we didn't have a marching band, so. And then later on, when I got into college, I got to start playing like set and stuff like that.
Nice.
But yeah, it's a lot of fun. That's where I got my start in music, was drums, and so brought these out to commemorate that.
Nice. I used to play cymbals.
Cymbals is fun.
In my marching band. I dropped them during a performance. I told you about that, didn't I?
Maybe?
Yeah, it was in the middle of a performance, and I dropped a pair of cymbals on the ground. And it was like Thriller by Michael Jackson. There's like a pause in it, and I just dropped them. And it was the loudest silence of it. Like, it was amazing. But I remember concert band's great.
I remember when I was young, it was only like my first or second year of concert band. We were doing the 1812 Overture, which I don't know if you know that one or not, but it was originally written with cannons, like beautiful, beautiful, big, grandiose piece, and there's like cannon shots in it in the original writing. Of course, youth orchestra, youth concert band, not going to have cannons. So bass drum, I was the bass drum part for that. And I was like, oh, this is so awesome. I'm the cannon, man. And for some reason, they were doing recordings of us one day.
Yeah.
And for the life of me, I couldn't hit the last note of the song any single time. We'd get to the very last note of the song, which is a big like fermata with a cannon hit. And I was like an eighth note late every single time.
Or are you dragging?
Every single time. I was like a full eighth note late. It'd be boom, boom.
Oh my god.
And I couldn't hit it for the recording to save my life. And so eventually the conductor came back for the recording and played the last note. And I was like,
That's embarrassing.
It was so
You should be
embarrassing.
ashamed of
You
that.
can't play a quarter note.
I was. I couldn't play a quarter note, man.
They should just record you in the bathroom. You sound like a cannon.
Just not my bathroom.
Back
please.
to the back to the
Please.
fart jokes.
Pat.
Okay. Girl Scout Kitty. Okay, so the story behind this is I was visiting my friend when she had her newborn baby, and she had decorated her room all pink and such, and she was like, look at this plushie that I found at my mom's house that I got when I was a little girl. And I won it because I sold like a certain number of Girl Scout cookies or brownies or something like that. And I was like, oh, that's really like early 2000s, which is when it was sold. Really cute. Like I love the pearls and everything. But it was for her nursery. And I guess like her nephew really liked the cat or something, but she was like, no, I'm taking the cat. Like I want it for my daughter. So I took a picture of it because I was like, oh, that's really cute. And I reverse Google imaged it and I bought one.
Hey.
For like $8, by the way. Like pretty cheap.
What is reverse Google imaging something?
You like take a picture, like if you don't know the name of something or like what something is, you just take a picture, upload a picture to it, and it'll bring up like different Google results that either are the same thing or look to be the same thing.
Oh.
So like if you don't know what a flower is or like what kind of bug it is, or I've done it for like antiques and stuff like that.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah.
Nice.
Anyway, so I did immediately buy it because I thought it was just so cute. You probably have seen it in the back of my set at home. It's called Little Brownie Originals. So like stealing Girl Scout cookies from a baby. Me and the baby have matching cat plushes. And she just turned 1. So
Nice. It's always good to have matching, stuffed animals.
it's like a really big animal for
Soft.
$8. Especially for one from the early 2000s. But yeah, I guess, you had to sell a certain amount. But jokes on you, Girl Scouts. I didn't have to sell anything except $8.
You sold your soul
Yeah, sure.
for $8.
By the way, update everyone. The Squirtle from last week when I talked about, was that 2 weeks ago or last week? When I talked about my niece's gift, the Squirtle I got her,
I think it was
little,
2 weeks ago.
little pillow squishmallow.
Oh, yeah.
It's doing great.
Good.
By the way.
Nice.
It's getting
Good.
some mileage for sure. So
Go get you a Squirtle and a early 2000s Girl Scout
that cat looks like a cartoon of some kind.
It does.
Aristocats?
Aristocats, the jazz section.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what it
Yeah.
is. Okay. I was like, that's a cat. I know that cat. But I don't know
Everybody.
that cat. I have a
love
new
that
hatred
song.
for cats after this weekend.
Really?
Dog sitting for my buddy, and he has a cat.
Huh.
And the 3 dogs are great. The cat, and he will be the first one to admit this, the cat's a little just terrible. Like, I don't like the cat at all. It just runs around, it gets on the counter, it gets on the kitchen counter. I'm like, get
don't
off
like
the
that.
counter.
Yeah.
And it's it tries to be a dog. It thinks it's a dog, and it's just, it's embarrassing. But we love cats here, most of us.
There's a cat that I like. And I like kittens. I like kittens. Kittens are adorable. And every now and then there's a cat that I'm like okay with. But there's like this one cat in my neighborhood that just decided to like choose me. It just started showing up.
I saw that. You had some friends this weekend.
This weekend there was like 2 random dogs that I've never seen before.
Yeah.
They just like wandered up in my yard while I was doing some yard work and just like stuck around.
You know what I was
Like all
talking?
day.
You know what I was talking to Johnson about the other day? And we've had Johnson on. Go watch his episode. We had a couple of weeks ago. But he was over here that time, or he was at your place, and he was the cat whisperer. All of a sudden, these cats just came over to your place, and he was like down there, and he looked like he was just talking to him, and they were just all kind of around him. And he has a lot of cats at his place, but I'm like, dude, you like the cat whisperer? Those cats like really liked you.
I can see that actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cats love me even though I'm allergic. I think they like can sense that I'm allergic. I do love cats, but I just can't touch them.
You're allergic to cats?
I think it's because like I just didn't grow up with animals, so I think like I just am allergic to them.
Survival of
Sorry.
the fittest, and you didn't learn how to be the fittest.
I'm 100% not survival of the fittest. Are you kidding me? If there's apocalypse, I'm done.
It's over. My dog is allergic to cats. I found that out.
What?
My chocolate is allergic. Like his eyes will swell like shut.
Aw,
It's crazy.
that's
I'm like,
awful.
what?
I've never heard of a dog that's allergic to cats.
It's a thing.
Wow.
It's a thing for sure. Cats are evil. Anyways, we have shared our show and yells, and we will be right back with segment 2, where we'll get onto our topic tonight. Be right back.
Hey guys, what's up? It's DJ Patty G. I hope you guys have been enjoying the show so far. If you want to go find more, go to our website, su-podcast.com. We have lots of cool playlists there, whether it be from artists that we've had on the show or with other independent artists from all over the world. Also, make sure to follow us at successfully_unsigned on all of our platforms, as well as Unsigned Podcast on TikTok. You guys will be our best friend if you go rate us 5 stars on all platforms. And if you like and subscribe this video, make sure to keep watching so you can see more of our shenanigans and other tomfoolery. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for sticking with us. We are Successfully Unsigned, and tonight, as we mentioned earlier, we're going to be talking about lyrical styles, different forms of lyrics throughout. Maybe, I don't know if we're going to get into necessarily different eras, but definitely different genres, and how you can use different perspectives on your words to make your songs better, to change, or at least be aware that there are different forms, and maybe you can figure out what you're doing if you have a consistent thing that you don't realize, and how you can maybe break out of that.
Yeah.
I know that I'm definitely that way. Most of my lyrics end up kind of being very similar, and I think that's pretty natural as a writer. Especially, you know, if you're working by yourself all the time and not doing like co-writes, not working with other people, that you end up getting this, you know, style that's just kind of, you think of it as, oh, that's just me. And it is absolutely to a degree. But then also kind of maybe subconsciously finding it fitting in the umbrella of a larger lyrical form.
Yeah.
So when people talk about lyrical forms like we're discussing, what are some of the first things that come to y'all's minds?
Lyrical form, I think, you know, there are people who like to rhyme and are very, you know, they need to rhyme, and it's like, it doesn't matter, like the lyrical content is not as, you know, intelligent as I feel like it could be, because you are sticking to like an A-B rhyme scheme.
Yeah.
So I would say that's like a genre of stuff where it's like that you could convey a better message with more intricate words. But I also feel like there's like that storytelling type of songwriting where it's like there's not a clear, there's like a beginning, middle, and end to it, which I enjoy that. I enjoy a story, you know, like verse is kind of moving it along. The chorus, I like when the chorus, like the last chorus changes, like the words change. Like there are some songs that will make the action verb in the choruses, it'll be like past tense in the last one, like it's already been done, or it's like already happened.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that. Yeah. So that's what comes to my mind.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
A couple things.
Patrick?
We know Patrick writes a lot of lyrics.
Yeah, totally.
If you were to sit down and write lyrics right now, how would you do it?
You know, I always said like, if I were to get into music, I would want to be a pop star. And like, quite literally, you know, we always talk about have your references and such. I would want my references to be like,
Can I guess?
Yeah.
Spice Girls?
Mm-hmm.
Britney Spears?
No.
No.
Ariana?
No.
What's that girl from Just Friends? That Anna Faris plays?
Yes.
Dale.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know her name.
That's what I mean. Like, Daphne and Celeste, who were in the early 2000s, who did UGLY, you ain't got no alibi, you ugly.
Like anthems.
Like just stupid, like no seriousness lyrics. Like I would want the most like bubblegum, like unserious lyrics.
Like a Gwen Stefani song.
Yeah, like I guess so, like some like more modern day, I guess, ones you could do Scene Queen, which even that I think is too like serious because like she's very playful with it, but it's like with serious subjects. Or like Kim Petras has like some songs that I would say are like pretty unserious, but I don't know. I just want like goofy, dumb lyrics that like are just so wacky and stupid and just like having fun with it. So
It's party music.
I think like party music, but I wouldn't want it to be like generic in the sound. I would just want it to be like, oh my gosh, this is just so fun. Like who cares? I wouldn't want it to be just like, I had to do a stay like no, not that.
It's a sneak peek, ladies and gentlemen. A sneak peek.
I want like just.
Can you do that again?
They're over there like, oh my goodness.
You know what? I have a playlist called the Bimbo Mobile. And what it is that I picture, have either of you seen Bring It On, All or Nothing?
And not in a long time.
Okay, I think Solange is in it. And Hayden, I forget her last name, Petnier or something like that. Anyway, there's this scene where she goes from like this kind of sorority girl, like all white school to this school in Compton, okay? And she is like, all the kids are playing this like rap music and like it's from the early 2000s. So yes, there's like a lot of stereotypes in it. But she pulls up while like this rap is going, like all these kids look really cool and edgy. And then she whips in with her Beetle Bug. And she's playing this like bubblegum pop music.
Yeah.
And it is one of my favorite scenes ever because I'm like, I want that to be me. Like the Bimbo Mobile playlist. If you'd like me to share it with you, go ahead and message me, pglover2447 on Instagram. And it's just like dumb early 2000s bubblegum pop.
Yeah.
Now, some of it has like some more serious songs, but even so, it's mostly to be like Legally Blonde, like just having fun.
Yeah.
So,
side question, real quick. Would you ever drive a Beetle?
oh, it's my dream car.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, it's my dream car.
Really?
The only. Oh yeah.
I can see it.
It's because it like looks like it's a cartoon. I just want to live like I'm in a cartoon.
Okay.
But the only thing I've heard is like they have terrible maintenance issues, which I am not equipped for. So if I'm ever rich, I will buy it. Look, if I ever win the lottery, there will be signs, is what they say.
Imagine us having to ride with Patrick. Be like, we'll come with you. And he's just in this Beetle. And we're like,
okay, you know, a really good local artist that I recently have found that is very similar vibes. Massey 99. They are these three girls, all very young, like, born 1999 and later. And they have like these just fun, like punky punch, like early 2000s sounding songs that you would like hear in like 10 Things I Hate About You. And I finally got to go to one of their shows recently, and they're just so much fun. They just giggle on stage the whole time and just like are having such a good time. And just they like will bring out like a Nick Jonas cardboard cutout. And
it's the best Jonas brother.
Yeah, and they and one of them, she has a Beetle, and I was like, this is just so fitting. It's so perfect. She's like, yeah, I'm trying to get rid of it. You want it? Like, she's like, it has so many issues. I was like, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're a really good one. But their lyrics are very just like, what would you do if your crush walked through the door right now? Like, that's literally how one of their songs starts. They're like, what are you wearing, blush? What are you doing, crushing it? Like,
Ooh.
It's just very Well, not all of them are chanty, but
Yeah.
I'll play some songs for
It's
y'all.
like some anthem.
Yeah. So
That's a genre. For sure.
yeah. So
Those
I guess
lyrics.
for me, unserious lyrics.
Unserious lyrics.
But I think I do appreciate storytelling, and I think this goes back to our interview. Was that you?
I mean, I scooted up in my chair, so maybe
Disrespectful.
I'll do it again.
She would love the bimbo mobile. Anyway, this goes back to our interview with Anastasia, where she talks like how her writing process, and especially when she first moved to Nashville, you know, she's even back then, especially, she was way more pop. Now she's a little more like rock, alt pop, whatever you want to call it. But what she was doing was bringing it. She loves co-writes. Now she's been doing some more and more writing on her own. But she was talking about how she loves working with country artists. When she moved to Nashville, she's like, there wasn't as much of a pop scene or anything. So she was bringing all these country artists in on these pop songs or these rock songs. And the reason that she was doing that was because they're such good storytellers. And her album is, of course, a concept album. Go listen to La Petite Mort. And so I really liked that, where I was like, yeah, that is a really good strategy of a way to kind of genre bend and find a way, if you're looking to do one style of music, but perhaps bringing in something different for lyric wise.
Yeah, and that's a really good point that you bring up about, like, you know, try to bring somebody in from a different genre. I think about like a lot of the early rap and MC days is so storytelling heavy.
Yes.
Like that's its whole thing. Of course, it's evolved since then to an extent, but even still, it has a lot of roots and origins in that. Even now, a lot of the music that comes out is still that way. But you know, or even think, like early thousands R&B is not necessarily storytelling, but some of it definitely is.
I think it is. Yeah.
Some of it definitely
I would
is.
say a lot of it is.
It's definitely, in my mind, I think a lot of the early thousands R&B is more like conversational. It's like
It's
a guy talking to a girl,
Yeah.
and it does tell a story
Seductive, sort
in
of.
that.
Yeah.
Seductive, yeah.
It is, but like there's storytelling in that, but it's
Yeah,
a little more
I see what you mean.
framed from a perspective of like
conversation.
Let me
Yeah.
talk to you. Let me tell you why you should be with me, kind of thing.
No, I'm Dale.
You know,
It wasn't me.
it wasn't me. But I think about like two songs that come to mind right off as far as like, I think good examples of storytelling in totally different genres. Since we're talking about rap, there's the song. What is the name of it?
3 minutes later.
Oh man, I forgot. I've listened to it a bunch recently.
Oh boy.
Okay, that being said, one thing that I really love about rap is all the like references and like wordplay and everything. I didn't think about rap for lyrics, but like if you like do some really good wordplay, I think a very famous example is Bonfire by Childish Gambino. Like that is a very like offensive, but like have you heard that song before? Yeah, how he ends it like something made the beat that murdered it, Casey Anthony. I was like, what? Like it's crazy, but it's like, whoa. Like so I really love that about hip hop.
That's like when you kind of realize the techniques that they use in those songs. Like that's when you kind of realize you would have paid attention in English class, because they'll use like personification. They'll use like metaphors, similes.
I mean,
all of these things, like they're tools to kind of take a message and just like package it in a different way. That's like more like using that wordplay, or you know, it gets people more engaged in like
Successfully
thinking about
Unsigned says, "Stay in school, kids."
Yeah,
Yes.
and I think generally speaking, genres. I think, well, I mean, all genres shift and move from where they began to where they are now to where they will be in the future. I think typically speaking, most genres end up shifting more, at least in their arc. They go from being simplistic lyrically to being more complex, having more analogies, assuming that they kind of withstand kind of the test of time as a genre. And then eventually as the genre begins to fade, I think you go back more to more of a simplistic style. I think that's just a general arc for most genres. But
Country's a great example.
Country's a great example of that.
From storytelling to beer trucks and women.
Have you seen the AI country song that they?
I think I did
There's
see
a
something
handful.
like that.
So
Yeah.
it's like not good and good at the same time.
Yeah.
What?
But the song I was going to bring up earlier, as an example in rap music, is "Just a Friend" by Biz Markie. When you say he's just a friend, when you say he's just a friend, oh baby, you got what I need.
Oh, okay.
Horribly
yeah.
sung chorus, but it's so addictive at the same time. I love it. But all the verses of that song is this guy, he's like, got this girl, he loves this girl, he thinks she's the one in so many ways. But then, he finds out this entire time she's been with somebody else. Like, he thinks he's the only one, but he's not, kind of idea. But it's this whole kind of story, but it's also told in like an old school storytelling style of like, hey, kids, listen up. I need to tell you a story. Learn from me real quick. Don't make the mistake I did. Don't go after the girl that's with everybody else, even if you don't know it. Be careful who you choose. It's kind of not really the intent of the song to give that kind of like lesson, but it does nonetheless. So it takes an even older form of storytelling and brings it into that aspect. But then you have a completely different style of storytelling in a completely different genre. With Nickel Creek, they have the song "The Lighthouse Tale." I absolutely love that song, both musically and lyrically. I mean, it's just a gorgeous song. But what's the song about? I mean, it's a song about two people. They get married, young love. They go and they become lighthouse operators. And long story short, she dies in the song, and he's like a witness to it and gets super depressed and ends up throwing himself off the lighthouse in the end, right? He kills himself. Very morbid, but beautiful song. But it's all written as a story from the perspective of the lighthouse. So it's like the lighthouse is the one telling you the story. So it's not conversational. It's not in the sense of like, hey, kids, let me tell you something. It's not even like, hey, girl, let me tell you a story. It's like, this is as a lighthouse. He, I don't remember the exact phrase and like how it's worded right off the top of my head, but when he jumps off the lighthouse, he's like, it frames it in the first person of the lighthouse.
Yeah.
Like, and he, off the edge of me, he ran, I think is actually the phrase, going, at that point of the song. And it's like, that's an interesting way to take a story, but take a different perspective. That's not just like, conversation, but it's also not just like there once was a time and da 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 da.
Well, that's personifying.
It's
things.
personifying things.
But like I think with there's a lot of debate about like what comes first, lyrics or music. I think obviously if you're doing lyrics first, you should tell the story is what's most important. So I think getting that down on paper is good, but there's nothing wrong with like once you have the music. So you write the story first, and then like once you have the music, adjusting the vibe of the story to your music. So like maybe replacing different words. Are you good?
Yeah, it's just loud in the microphone.
And that I was like, what is happening?
Replacing different words. Start there.
Replacing different words. Yeah. Replacing different words. And just telling the story in a way that fits the song, like, and that fits the emotion of the song. Because like there are some that can make that work, where it's like a sad song with happy music, or like vice versa. But I think there are different, again, ways of delivery that people can do to spice up sort of the meaning and like give the story more sort of oomph and like a launching pad. But yeah, I really like that style that you mentioned. I know a lot of country songs do that.
Yeah.
This bear watches me as I walk across my house. And it's just like, I mean, or it's like a bottle of whiskey or something, which, but I really appreciate stuff like that. Like a lighthouse or a waterfall or like something in nature. Just, it hits different. And it kind of takes you out of, it kind of puts you in another world, you know? Like you kind of want to do that with your writing too. You want to transport people to another place.
Because
yeah.
Yeah, because like what are if we could categorize the different perspectives that you can write a song, I mean, what would you say? There's obviously first person, right? There's third person.
Yeah.
There's personification. What other kind of perspectives?
Second person.
How would you do that? Give an example.
You.
Well, would you not consider that kind of still first person, like a conversation? Talking about
If
someone?
it's not a conversation, no. If it's just like you walked away from me, blah 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 blah. I mean, I don't know.
Okay.
Like there are definitely songs that are in second person.
Okay, fair enough. What else?
I think you had said third person. I guess this is what this is, but like writing your song about somebody else's breakup or something, that would just be third person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that in the sense of like they,
Yeah.
and
They meant just taking yourself in the third person.
Yeah.
Drew walks by me. He laughs because it's just so funny. Oh wait, I messed up the lyrics. But
she's gonna be so mad at you too. We're gonna have to delete this episode.
We have to delete half our episodes.
Yeah,
please. She. Oh yes, not Taylor Swift. One like I don't know. I don't know if this has anything to do with like what you're saying. I guess, but how you were talking about like with simple lyrics. It's weird because on one hand, like, it's really great, like finding, like I love Lana, but honestly, a lot of times I don't fully understand her songs unless I look them up.
Yes.
But then I think about someone like Julie Strawbridge, who has like really intelligent lyrics, but like still understandable. But then I think about someone like Olivia Rodrigo, who has especially her first album, very simple, straightforward lyrics. And it's like, I remember people saying like, oh, her lyrics aren't even that good. But I'm like, but they are, because yes, she's so straightforward with them. As far as like, I got my driver's license last week, just like we always talked about.
Yeah.
But then you like the emotion with the voice and just all the different music and everything, like that's why it is all just such a puzzle piece, because it reminds you like, oh my goodness, I remember being a teenager and being in love and being so heartbroken and all this stuff. And that's why like Olivia Rodrigo's whole thing is
nostalgia.
Well, that, but also like, well, shout out to all the 26-year-old teenagers out there that's how people kind of describe as being that old and listening to Olivia Rodrigo's music, because it makes you feel like a teenager again.
So, and I think maybe there's a lesson in that as far as like if you're writing music, the more personal you want your song to be, probably, and this is not a hard and fast rule by any means, you can break any writing rule you want, but the more personal you want to be, the more direct you want to be. Because if I'm sitting here having a direct conversation with you, or a very personal conversation with you about something that's going on in my life, how would I describe that? I mean, chances are, maybe I use an analogy or two to try to get my point across, but most likely I'm telling you straight out, hey, this is how I feel. This is what I think. This is what I'm going through right now. This is what's happened.
Yeah.
Right. And it's very, very direct. But then if you're doing something, that is like, we're just out here having fun and life is great, you're not thinking about necessarily maybe as direct things. That's why people are like, oh, the sun is shining and this is going on and this is everything's great, right? You're not thinking about the situation. You're thinking about everything else. And so you can afford to be a little more, you can pull away from being as direct, and I think those situations easier.
Yeah.
Right. And vice versa.
I wonder if there's such a thing as like too intellectual with your songs.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely.
I mean, just like with movies,
Right. And is there a way to like kind of have the best of both worlds, like just have a song that, because there are some songs that I don't understand until later on. Like I've heard them a lot, and then just like on a certain speaker or something, you're like, oh, that's what he said.
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
I think that's cool. Like having like little nuggets in there, and like also just like kind of challenging people to figure it out. I think that's another genre of like, what are you talking about? And then you sort of piece it together yourself and like it doesn't have to be something that's like coherent. It can be something abstract.
Well,
you
like
know, like
one
Beatles.
One of the best examples of that is "Bye Bye Miss American Pie."
Yeah.
From my Chevy to the levee, right?
Yeah.
Because that whole song is what? I mean, what is that song?
About the 2001 movie.
What is that song about?
Isn't it?
The plane crash or whatever.
No, it is, well, yes,
isn't that what
but
people think?
Each one of those phrases is a different event in history. Each
Yeah.
one of those little things that he mentions is like this happened and this happened and this happened.
Yeah.
And this. He's telling this basically like, you know, just he's giving a history lesson, but by describing it in just kind of interesting and unique ways, or ways that people will be like, oh, that's what happened. Oh, so and so died. Oh, this was a big event in history. Oh, da da da. And he does it that way. That's an extremely difficult kind of thing to write.
Yeah.
I feel like a really big example is like Bohemian Rhapsody. Like, didn't they never say like what that actually meant? But like, it's one of those things where it's such a like crazy, wild, interesting song. I mean, they got an entire like multiple generations of people, like multiple generations, to listen to a 6-7 minute song in
song.
full,
Yeah.
which is crazy. But no one like really knows fully what it means.
Yeah.
But it's so interesting that it keeps you engaged.
Yeah.
I mean, American Pie is also a really good example too. I think too, just part of it though is like you listen to it and you're like, oh, this is sad. But like Bohemian Rhapsody, you're like, whoa, what's going on?
Yeah.
So I think it can work. I think there are like good ways. And like I said, like Lana, or I would say Regina Spektor is another one. Like she never reveals, like, or at least I don't think she used to. Maybe she does now. Like reveals fully what her songs are about. But I don't understand all of them. But I think that's where it comes into play of writing it in a way. Maybe the best of both worlds is in a way where like you can still relate it to yourself.
Yeah.
So Lana has songs for sure that I don't fully know what they mean, but I know what they mean to me.
Yeah.
And I relate them to my own life experiences or my own situations. And I'm like, well, this might not be the right interpretation of this song, but even if it's not, it doesn't matter because it's my interpretation for my own self. And so maybe I'm going to add it to this playlist that has nothing to do with what the song is actually about, but in my mind it is.
It's the beauty of music. It's subjective.
Yes.
It is. And if you're writing music and you most likely, I think most writers begin by their lyrics are very direct. They're very simple because that's just kind of how most human brains work, I think. You know, and so if you're writing things that are simple, that's fine. You're probably in the right place. You know, you're writing stuff, keep writing. If you want to try to take it and become more or add more analogies and add more figures and add more perspectives and things like that, go out and find things that you like that are that way and look at how they do it. You know, go experience different genres that you don't typically listen to just to like try to learn like, hey, this is how they frame the lyrics in this. This is how they frame the lyrics in this. Go read poetry.
Yeah.
Right? Poetry is a great place to kind of get an idea of
Or
creative
books.
or books. Yeah. You know,
If you want to tell a story, you got to read some stories.
read some stories. Engage in other art, right?
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
isolate yourself in just your own music. Engage in other art, and you're going to see how other people pull out different things. You can be like, oh, I really like this from this, and this from this, and this from this. And then, lo and behold, you start bringing those 3 elements or 4 elements or how many elements together into something that you're making. But that if you're trying to get better and you want to get better, it has to be an intentional thing.
Yeah.
You're not just going to really happen into it.
I guess that like kind of is a whole like maybe another style is like I know some people will watch movies or like something like that and it's kind of like this inspiration. I guess
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know, but
Absolutely.
yeah. I mean,
I just wrote 2 songs this last week because I watched some Western movies.
yeah.
And I was like, I'm feeling like
It's-
writing some
yeah.
Western songs.
It's
So
influence,
I
yeah.
did. You
We
know?
haven't even talked about concept albums. Like just
yeah.
the
Ooh.
perspective of like broadening
Yeah.
the story into an album format. I think that's a genre too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's very
Like-
true. Okay, last question real quick. What do you guys feel like your writing style is?
Dale.
Mine is still very direct and simple. I'm in that phase, like I just mentioned, of like trying to go and find other art to pull from, because I'm like, I like some of what I get, but I'm like, it could be so much more. It could be so much better. It could be so much more descriptive and just more interesting. A lot of my lyrics are just still very direct and usually very first person. Now, I do like to pull from other people's situations in life, and I like to watch like things that happen to, whether it's friends or just people around me that I see, you know, like okay, how can I pull that and you know, maybe personify that into a story, you know? But mine are still rather simple. So
David, really quick.
For me, it's changed a lot in the past few years. I've focused more on like what emotion does this provoke? Like when people are listening to my music, I want them to think of really like think of a scene. Like I want to set the scene with my lyrics and put someone there. And then the music just like supplements that. So just like trying to supplement the type of music I write with my lyrics is probably what I'm trying to do a lot better at, and just using better words and being more intellectual, being more intentional with the writing, and, you know, not settling for certain things in songs.
I see it now. I'm in an ice cream shop. Girl, that's cold.
Oh. If you haven't listened to my song, girl, what is it called? Enjoy the ice cream.
Girl, that's cold.
Girl, that's cold. Yeah. Yeah, that was my simple time.
It's fun though.
But it's a fun song.
It is very fun. Okay, well, that's it. Go write a song right now. But actually, before you do that, we'll be right back. Hey guys, what's up? It's DJ Patty G. I hope you guys have been enjoying the show so far. If you want to go find more, go to our website, su-podcast.com. We have lots of cool playlists there, whether it be from artists that we've had on the show or with other independent artists from all over the world. Also, make sure to follow us at successfully_unsigned on all of our platforms, as well as Unsigned Podcast on TikTok. You guys will be our best friend if you go rate us 5 stars on all platforms. And if you like and subscribe this video, make sure to keep watching so you can see more of our shenanigans and other tomfoolery. Thanks, guys. All right, y'all, welcome back. So we've been talking about a lot of different artists, a lot of different genres, a lot of different lyrics. And now we're going to play our Spottle game. Let us know if you guys like this game or not. If you don't, sorry, but also get over it.
We could play it with the mouth guards next time.
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
I feel like guess the lyrics would be
Michael
Jackson.
Save it for
is that
the
your
game.
first guess?
Right. Sure, let's go with Michael Jackson. Why not?
Okay, here we go.
Okay, solo genre is pop, and it is from the U.S. Solo and pop, higher than 1972 in popularity, higher than 110. I'm surprised Michael Jackson that slow.
110, the king of pop,
and not male.
Not male. So newer than when?
1972.
So, well,
you got a lot.
It's a little something more recent.
But U.S. pop
And
solo.
It's female.
Yes.
Oh, female. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So Let's go.
Well, let David guess first.
Okay, my bad. I was trying to contribute since you said I wasn't contributing last week.
Kelly Clarkson? I don't know.
That was almost who I guessed.
I don't know why that came to my mind.
Okay. Higher than 2003.
Okay, I don't think it's gonna be her, because I think the popularity is not gonna be quite above Michael Jackson. But we'll go with your girl Selena Gomez.
Yeah, definitely. Her popularity is 46.
What?
Who made this? Okay, but the debut is lower than 2013.
So between 04 and 13?
Yeah, but it's saying much higher than 2003. It's saying close to 2013. So probably 2009, 2010-ish. U.S. Very popular.
Very popular.
I'm going to guess Taylor Swift.
Oh, boy.
It's not.
It's not Taylor Swift.
What's her popularity?
Number 2.
Oh, my God.
That's
Who's
crazy.
number 1?
Is it low? It's lower, yeah.
Yeah, who is number 1? Okay. Dale. That's crazy.
Female artist.
2009.
2009.
Pop. U.S.
I'm not sure at 2009.
I have another guess.
Go for it.
Kesha, maybe? Oh, she's probably not going to be more popular than Michael Jackson, though. Okay, higher than 2010, lower than 2013. So
Oh my goodness.
2011, 2012.
2011, 2012.
She's U.S. dude.
Super popular.
We should
popular.
U.S.
Huh?
We should know this. I feel like we
Yeah,
feel so stupid.
we are going to feel dumb.
I'm trying to think of who started in that era.
Pulp. Think about the radio. This is when like listening to the radio would really help me out.
Yeah.
To be like, oh yeah.
I don't much.
Halsey? No, she was
No,
later.
she's newer than that.
She's newer. Jeez.
And Billie Eilish is newer, right?
Oh, she's
No,
way newer.
yeah, way
I
newer.
mean, she wouldn't have
She was,
started in.
was she even born? I don't even know.
I mean, I know
let's
she
see.
got popular later than that, but
I mean, she got popular when she was like 17.
Oh,
So-
did we guess Beyonce? No, that she's earlier.
She's
Yeah,
earlier
she'd
than
be
that.
earlier.
everybody that
Sorry.
I'm thinking of is earlier than that. Because I thought about.
Jeez, this is tough.
Demi Lovato?
No.
She's older than that, though, right?
No, she'd be around that time. Probably not that popular, but maybe. Nope.
I'm gonna say Fergie, but Fergie's earlier.
Yeah.
She's not as popular.
Yeah. Lady Gaga, maybe?
Yes.
I thought she was from before. Well, way before that.
2008.
That was a
Yeah.
perfect time period, though.
Yeah.
Um.
I forgot. It's 2011 or 2012.
Sia.
Maybe. 2003. Oh, and she's Australian. I forgot.
Oh.
Oopsie.
Sorry,
Okay,
Sia.
we have 2 more guesses, I think.
Dang it.
2 more guesses.
We are not good.
2009, 2011, 2012. 2011, 2012. Very popular pop American. Because I
think
almost
about-
just thought Lord, but no.
Were y'all in
Yeah.
like middle school?
Yeah,
in
that's what I'm trying to
2012.
think.
So think about what was playing in middle school in 2012.
I mean,
What was playing?
Is
at your-
Rihanna? No, Rihanna was before
Oh,
2011.
yeah, I think you're on the right track with that though.
Yeah.
Sierra's earlier. Dang.
This is so hard.
Chat, help us out.
All right, I'm gonna go to my middle school playlist. Sorry, y'all. Is this cheating? Low key,
It's
maybe.
okay, I cheated last week. It's fine.
yeah. We're horrible at this game.
We narrowed it down. We just got to
Yeah.
finish it off.
I mean, I didn't listen to pop at that era, really. I mean, I'd hear it if I was at the store, but I didn't listen to pop much.
We gotta make a guess though. I'm cheating. Boop.
Katy Perry was before,
Oh yeah, she was.
I didn't think
but
about
that was a close.
Oh,
Maybe though.
Alicia's earlier. She's way earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Katy Perry's first album was in.
What about Meghan Trainor?
I thought she was newer than that.
She might be
I
2011,
think she
but
might
let's
be a
see.
little newer. Yeah. I know
Yeah,
she's
she's 2015.
Would she have been?
Yeah.
We have one more.
And
Dang
she
it.
wouldn't have been more popular than Michael Jackson, I don't think.
True.
True.
Oh my goodness. I'm just gonna go to my nostalgia. What? Nostalgia playlist.
Let me think.
I'm gonna feel so stupid here in a second.
Miley Cyrus.
No, she was. I mean, Hannah Montana came out in 2006.
Jordan Sparks was
Right, but-
not as popular.
Was her solo stuff as Miley?
It was definitely. I'm pretty sure. I mean, maybe. Let's see.
What about Ariana Grande?
Yes.
I was gonna guess her, but
That's
I was
a good
like,
guess.
wouldn't she be like way later?
Oh no, it wasn't. It was Lana.
It's Lana Del Rey.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Patrick, that one's on you, bro. You should have
That
known
is.
You were talking about her in this episode.
I know. I
We
talked about
did.
her multiple
I
times.
know.
That makes sense, but at the same time, I guess I just wasn't. I don't think of
Yeah.
her as like pop. Like I'm thinking like she's more. I mean, she is pop technically, but I guess she's like all pop or whatever you want to
I
call
would
it.
not have gotten that. I thought she was way newer.
Man, Ariana Grande was a really good guess, though.
Yeah.
Thank you, Google.
Ariana Grande is popularity 12. I really want to know who's popularity number 1, though,
Yeah,
Just
who
mad
would they
this Taylor
have
Swift
above?
not.
because if it's not
Beyonce,
Taylor Swift,
probably.
maybe Beyonce.
Maybe
Oh, it's
Beyonce.
Yeah.
100% Beyonce.
Yeah.
Can you see on there?
No, it won't let me guess anymore.
Who would you rank?
Tell me something.
Who would you put at number 1 above Taylor Swift?
Spice
in
Girls.
your own. In your own.
Above Taylor Swift?
Who would you put in there above Taylor Swift? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
David's gonna say John Mayer, and then someone's gonna come to his house tonight and put a sack over his bag.
Yeah,
a sack over his
Please don't.
over his head.
That sounds terrible. Get thrown in a van tonight.
Yep.
Wow. Beyonce's popularity is 42.
What?
Who is number 1?
Who is number 1?
Spottle, reach out to us and sponsor us, please.
Yes. Even though the site looks yeah.
Wow.
Well,
That's crazy. I mean, I guess it could be a male, but what other male? Like Michael Jackson to me comes as like the most popular male artist of all time, unless it's a band too. But what other band is like?
I feel like it's in that category, right? The
It's gotta be a pop
popularity
star, though.
is like in
Yeah.
just the category of pop women, right?
No, because it was saying like popularity for Michael Jackson
just in
was
general, all
300
artists.
something. Yeah,
All
I think
music.
it's just all artists.
All
Gotcha.
music. So maybe we'll find out before next week.
Hopefully.
Well, actually, next week we're going to have a guest artist on, like a whole
Yes.
band, Neighborhood Folklore.
Yes.
So
Yes.
if you want to...
Christian will be back.
Yes,
Exciting.
Christian Hannah will be back. And if you want to go check out Neighborhood Folklore beforehand, you can find them on Instagram.
They have
you can
really
find their
good music.
on Spotify, Apple Music, all that kind of stuff.
I suggest Luxury Problems and Gardens of Shropshire because I will be discussing them.
And tag any artists that you think should be on this show. Let us know who you think should sit here in these comfy chairs and tell their story.
Me.
Obviously. Now I'm like genuinely curious about like what your pop star career could be. Like I want that mapped out.
Me too. Make it happen. Because
Like-
I know nothing about music. Well, nothing about making music.
What if we lived in a world again where boy bands like really came back? Because you
do
know,
it.
what if it just like came full circle, like
Let's do it. Let's form a boy band.
that? Like
We've talked about it before.
well, I didn't mean us, but you know,
We'll
other
be the
people.
backing line for him, is what I'm saying.
The backing what?
We'll be the back line for him.
I'm good.
Let's
I'll
do
be.
it, man.
I'll be another line somewhere else. I'll be in the line to see him perform.
Yes.
You know,
The VIP line, of course.
yeah.
Better be.
You guys know, like, my costumes and sets would be insane.
Oh, that'd
too.
be awesome. It'd be awesome. You'd like your pyrotechnics too. Like you jump out of a. What would he jump out of? He would jump out of
Cake.
something. Would it be a
A
cake?
pink
That's
Corvette.
a pink
Um,
bug.
Yeah.
A pink bug.
A pink
yes.
bug. Drive it
Yes.
on stage.
That's
You know,
your
I was
thing.
just watching
Let the bug
I was
fly.
just watching High School Musical 2, and like any of Sharpay's songs is another good example of like what I would want, like Fabulous
Yeah.
or her version of You Are the Music in Me, and there's just like fireworks blasting off everywhere and like wind blowing, and that's her like simplified version. She's like, because she does like some crazy outlandish like Hawaiian inspired
Yeah.
performance that they literally cut out of the movie because it was too weird.
Yeah.
And then Zac Efron Troy is like, maybe let's do something like more simple. Like, have you ever thought about just singing? She's like, that's brilliant. And then it's like these crazy
Yeah.
things. I'm like, yeah, simplified to me is pyrotechnics.
Yeah. I liked their version, like Ryan and Sharpay's version of It's Hard to Believe.
Oh, it's so much better. So much
That
better.
is better, right?
So much better.
Just saying.
Speaking my language.
Well, I don't know.
All right, go watch High School Musical 2, go write some lyrics, and more importantly, go follow us.
Go follow us. Take us home.
Successfully_unsigned on Instagram, Unsigned Podcast on TikTok. You can also find us on our website at su-podcast.com. Let us know what you think of these episodes, what you want to see, what you want to hear talked about. Let us know down in the comments or on any of the social medias that we've already mentioned. we love you. Thank you so much for being here. And,
Happy 2 years.
Happy 2
Happy
years,
2
guys.
years. We love you.
If you want to keep supporting the podcast, subscribe on YouTube. Give us a rating on your favorite streaming platform.
Give us
and
money.
Give us money on Patreon.
Give us money. Yeah. See you guys next time.